Oh snap, we've got a treat for you. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is absolutely killing it with the critics, and the developers are celebrating their highest rated Final Fantasy game in nearly 20 years, as we hear them address the game's critical acclaim. We've got updates on the game's length and features, without getting into spoilers of course, and lots more. So while the hype is high and the wait to play it is torturous, I'd like to remind you all for the last time to participate in my giveaway of the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Digital Deluxe Edition, as this giveaway will come to an end at 11:59 p.m. EST on Tuesday, February 27th. The Digital Deluxe Edition entitles you to a number of extra goodies, including materia, a digital art book, and a mini soundtrack. So if this is important to you, or if you just really want to get the game for free that's paid for by yours truly, then what are you waiting for? For those who entered, please check your emails, as I will be sending the winner an email immediately after the giveaway ends. Also, check your spam folders, as a previous winner stated that my email ended up there. The winner will have 2 days to get back to me to verify their win. Otherwise, I will have the app randomly assign another winner. The winner will be announced in the Gleam widget and will be publicly announced in a video on Wednesday. All information pertaining to the giveaway is linked in the description, and for those who are participating, may luck be on your side. With that out of the way, let's get on with the good stuff. Just an FYI, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo did update a few days ago with the Junon portion of the demo, and those who complete the demo will be awarded the Survival Kit and Kupo Charm when the full game unlocks on the 29th. Plus, the Performance Mode patch is now live, fixing some of the graphical oddities from the Nibelheim demo. For those who played it, let me know what your thoughts are on the Junon demo in the comments. Alright, I had a feeling that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was going to score well with the critics, but not this well, as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth currently enjoys the distinction of being the highest rated Final Fantasy game in nearly 20 years. Yeah, that's right. The last games that scored this high in the franchise were none other than Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy XII that released on the PS2 back in the years 2001 and 2006 respectively. Alright, enough statistics and numbers from me, but before we go address what the hardworking team at Square has to say about it, let's give the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth team a big round of applause for their incredible accomplishments. Definitely makes the wait for February 29th a bit harder, right? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth game director Naoki Hamaguchi took to Twitter to address the game's immense acclaim, stating that reaching review scores over 90 was one of the goals the development team had. As rare and as difficult it is to achieve a game of over 90 on Metacritic these days, achieving a 92 is really something special. Hamaguchi states his appreciation with, "This wonderful result was only possible thanks to the entire development team's hard work and dedication, so I'd like to thank them from the bottom of my heart." Hamaguchi continues with, "I've been supported by the press, community, influencers, and the PR team, and I can't thank them enough. Let's continue this positive momentum through the launch of the game, everyone." Again, hats off to the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth development team for pulling off this accomplishment. And now, let's look at some of the features of the game that you should know about before you get to play it for yourself. This is just a compilation of many of the things that I've taken from various reviews, and don't worry, absolutely no spoilers here, so the following essentially gives us more of an idea of just how expansive this much more open second game of the Remake saga is over its predecessor. Alright, so the game is essentially split into two halves, one being the main story and the other being the side content, and other things you can entertain yourself with that's off the main path. IGN recently put out an article going into the average playtime it takes to complete the story, along with how much it takes to complete the majority of the side quests, and well, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Rebirth is much longer in both categories over its previous Midgar-centric game in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Taking times across a number of different IGN staff, the more interesting distinction comes from one member's purely Gold Path playthrough, resulting in 33 hours, contrasted against a couple of 90-plus hour playthroughs that saw them achieving 100% completion in all regions, but without achieving 100% completion. We'll get into that in a moment, but needless to say, this game is going to take upwards of over 100 hours to get everything completed, but since there is a trophy to complete the game's story on hard mode, which only unlocks after completing the game the first time, attaining this platinum trophy will take you well over 100 hours, far eclipsing the previous Final Fantasy VII Remake, as platinuming that game can be achieved in 60 to 70 hours. And yes, to get Remake's platinum, you essentially had to complete the game twice, once on normal or easy and on hard, plus doing all the side content. Again, absolutely no story spoilers going ahead, but wanted to give you a breakdown of what to expect with some of the side content disclosed in interviews from Square, from reviews, and from the trailers. Without revealing additional side content that reviewers couldn't disclose, we have a number of huge minigames to engage with, including the Queen's Blood card game that we can immerse ourselves with as we can challenge a number of NPCs throughout the game world. This side activity even sports a massive quest line that is completely optional that sees players challenge NPCs across all regions of the world. There are also the proto-relic quests that were discussed in the recent State of Play trailer, which has an overarching storyline that results in a secret boss. From standard minigames, we have Chocobo Racing, G-Bike challenges, piano challenges, Fort Condor, dolphin riding, a number of Red 13 challenges, and much, much more. In Rebirth, there are a total of 62 side quests that spread across all 6 regions, ranging in length from short excursions all the way to an hour or 2 to complete. To put it in perspective, Final Fantasy VII Remake sported 26 side quests. Each of the open world regions in the game, namely the Grasslands, Junon, Corel, Gungaga, Cosmo Canyon, and Nibel regions, all sport a variety of these quests along with other activities such as minigames, optional battles, hidden treasure chests, optional summon materia, and more. So there's plenty of content in here. While a lot of this stuff wasn't in the original Final Fantasy VII on the PS1 and its numerous ports, at least for the amount we are getting with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the critics far and wide, and that's more than 120 of them, agree that most, if not all of it, is of incredible quality, something that a lot of open world games have failed to accomplish. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is every bit a masterpiece, as the critics say, as it is a massive game, as this 150GB 2-disc behemoth will surely take up most of our free time and sick days in the coming days. For those who pre-ordered digital versions, preloading will begin at midnight, 12 AM EST on February 27th. And again, go ahead and participate in my giveaway of the digital deluxe edition if you haven't already done so. This will undoubtedly be a prime Game of the Year contender for 2024 and sets an enormous benchmark for Final Fantasy and content-rich open world games going forward, so definitely check this one out if you've got a PS5. Be sure to check out my previous video on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth going over a number of enhanced features coming to the game, including its social affinity system, Chocobo variants, and Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 updates. And I will see all you good people real soon in the next one.